today we are recording a very special video with a very special guest. Her name is Stacey Bastian, and she's today with us, and she's very inspiring woman who is also a mom of two, and she has her own business, and she's very local to where I live, so it's nice to talk to someone who lives in the same area. And it's impressive because she has experience of over 20 years working with little ones, and she used to be a teacher. And what she's doing now is slightly different, and she will tell us more about it. So Stacey, tell us more about what you are up to right now.
Hi Anastasia, thank you for inviting me today, and thank you for your kind words. So my business, Stacey Bastian Personal Trainer, I have also another name which is Babes, Bumps and Babies Fitness. So the idea behind Babes, Bumps and Babies is I'm a personal trainer. I also am qualified in pre and postnatal exercise. And Babes, Bumps and Babies is basically an absolutely no excuses road into training, into fitness, into whether you're an experienced fitness goer and you want to get back into it after having a baby, or if you're new to fitness, the babes are the women, the bumps, I can train you if you're pregnant, and the babies, they come along. So it's totally encapsulated for a woman to be able to exercise without having those childcare barriers. I have a very, very small amount of childcare in my area. My mother-in-law is getting older now, and it's very difficult for her to take care of my children. My family live quite far away, so that's absolutely no chance. And you know, these gym memberships, they cost a lot of money, and then you have to pay creche fees on top. So for me, I have provided classes for women to come to. They can bring their babies, they can bring their children. I provide all of the toys. I plan workouts. I make sure that I know about everybody's needs, injuries, where they're at with their exercise, whether they're more advanced or whether they're new to exercise or somewhere in the middle. And I make sure that everybody gets a great workout at their level. And the children, they are so resilient. They come, and the more they come, the more they love it, because it's like a little play group. They make friends, and every session, the children know each other's names, and the mums know each other's names, and each other's children's names. And it's just like one big sort of baby group, really, but everybody's exercising. And where I can, I involve the children in the exercise, and they absolutely love it. It's just brilliant. It's totally breaking down those barriers of having no childcare. You don't need childcare. You come to me, you get a good workout, and you bring your kids with you.
Yeah, that sounds very exciting. I know that childcare is difficult these days, and it's also a lot of money, and yeah, so that's amazing. That sounds amazing. And so in terms of your route to health and wellness, how did your journey start? Because from what I understand, you used to be a teacher, and then you decided to do something completely different. So how did you get from there to what you do now, basically?
So basically, I've always loved exercise and going to the gym. Sometimes it's been more consistent than others, depending on what's been going on in my life. But I've loved the gym. I've, got quite a few personal trainer friends from the past, and I've loved learning about how the body works, how the muscles work, how your body can change by doing certain things in exercise, and finding the right exercise for you, because what might work for me might not necessarily work for somebody else. So there's so many different options, and in my classes I try to provide as much variety as I possibly can. So I started off as a gym goer, and then as I got older and I decided I wanted to become a classroom teacher, it took me so long to study for it whilst working as a teaching assistant in a primary school, that I would go to the gym for my stress release. I was really busy studying, working, and that was my thing. That was my, forget about everything. And I used to think while I was there, I wonder if I could teach this class, or I wonder if I could take somebody around the gym and show them, you know, a really good workout and learn what to do and how to do it correctly. And it was just kind of a dream back then. But then as time went on and I qualified as a teacher and I worked in a school, still going to the gym. When was it? When my son was about 18 months old, I decided, I was working part-time, and I decided that I was going to take a day a week for me, and train level 2 in personal training. Excuse me. And so I did, and I found my son a childminder, and I went into it was Fitness First back then, down in Liverpool Street, and I spent the whole day there with the tutor, and we did all the theory side, and then we went around the gym and we practiced all the exercises, and he was very, very thorough and very, very good. I learned a lot from him, and I loved it so much. After I qualified, I thought I'll have a little break, and then I began level 3. So I did that in another Fitness First, but in Brentwood. There was one there at the time, and I used to go on a Saturday, spend the whole day there on a Saturday, and I just loved it. And then I qualified, and I thought, right, now I've got the qualifications, it's just a matter of time. So I went back into the classroom, carried on teaching, and then COVID came, and I was pregnant. And they sent me home. They were like, "You're pregnant. We don't know what this horrible virus is. Go away." So I did. And then I was at home and I was pregnant. And I remember the weather was really lovely. And I was outside in the garden a lot doing my own workouts. And I contacted the company and I said, would it be possible to do pre and postnatal? And as it goes, it was an online course anyway. Because I was pregnant, I was the trainer and the client all rolled into one. And I trained lots and lots throughout COVID. And I noticed a massive difference between the birth of my second child to my first one. I know they're all different anyway, but my body was so much stronger because I trained the whole way through. With my first, I didn't train at all. And yeah, after sort of 3 weeks of having her, I started getting straight back into it. And within 4 months, I was back down to my pre-pregnancy weight, and I had a large baby. She was 9.5 pounds, plus all the other weight that you gain as well. So yeah, then that was that. I was on a temporary contract anyway. After COVID, I never went back, and it was time to start my own business. So I started teaching some online classes that went really, really well, loved it. And then when we were allowed to go back into cafes and start socializing again, I printed off some leaflets and I went around all the local baby groups and parks and play groups, and I handed out my flyers. And yeah, mums started to come. I started teaching in my garden. And it's just a lovely way to exercise outside in the sunshine, and the children all had the toys in the garden to play with, and it's fantastic. And from there, it's just grown and grown and grown.
Okay, how many moms do you have now coming to your classes?
Usually in a class, I mean, the classes are still quite small, but I wouldn't take any more than 10 anyway, but usually I have about 8. So I can really focus on everybody then. I think if they're too big, it's hard to manage and make sure that everybody's using the correct techniques. And obviously they all don't come to the same class because of work and other commitments, but on my client list, I have about 30 people. Okay. And a lot of them do one-to-one training or 1-to-2 as well. So together with a friend or a relative, we work together in the studio that I hire, which is a fully functioning gym, which is private, which is great, because then there's no sort of intimidation or fear of, you know, other people being around. It's very relaxed. We have a lot of fun. We have the music on. I do a different kind of training every week. It's always progressive, so they're making lots of progress. Yeah, so that's also a nice way to complement the classes, having that extra training 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 with a friend.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. Yeah. So what would you say is your favorite part of being a personal trainer?
My favorite part is when people will contact me and they will say, I've been following you on Instagram, I've been following you on Facebook, I really want to come to your classes, but I feel a bit, I haven't got any confidence. I feel like I'm going to do something silly, or I'm not going to be this, I'm not going to be that. And I just say, look, come along, try it. I support you. Everyone's lovely. And then they say to me at the end, I loved it, and I want to come back next week. Can I come back? What do I need to do to come back? So then that's it. Then they get hooked, and then they come to one class, they come to 2 classes, start personal training, and then they notice a difference in themselves. They notice how much more energy they've got, how much better they feel, how much more confident they're becoming. And then when they start to see the physical changes, in their bodies, whether it's weight loss or muscle toning, they just feel wonderful. And when they tell me that, that they're feeling great because, and it relates back to training, then obviously it makes me feel great because I'm making them happy.
Such a rewarding career, isn't it? Because I'm a nutritionist and health coach as well. Well, I'm more in nutrition basically, and I find the most inspiring part is seeing all these women who come to me to do the program, doing all the great things, feel great, and yeah, it's very inspiring career choice. So, in terms of basically, I know there might be some people who watch this and they say, oh, I also want to become a personal trainer, or I also want to help women get fitter, for example. What would be your number one advice for these women?
If someone wants to join the fitness industry, I would say, yeah, absolutely go for it. I mean, it is hard work. There's a lot of hard work behind actually teaching a class, actually knowing each individual, planning, all the preparation that I have to do with packing up and, renting places, finding places, keeping on track with, bookings and plans and all that kind of stuff. And financially, I would say, bit of a downside, it's not that rewarding in terms of financial at the moment because I'm still in early days. I'm only in my 2nd year. However, in a business, everybody goes through the same thing. So what you get from it, you have to put back in. I have to keep training. I have to keep making myself better. I have to keep my health optimum level, so there is that. But for me, I don't do it for that side of things. And I think if you were thinking of going into it and you're going to make loads and loads of money, then, that's not the case. But if you're going to go into it, you're going to go into it, 1, because you love fitness, and 2, because you want to help people reach their goals. Yes. So yeah, absolutely go for it.
In terms of steps, like, for example, imagine I'm a mom who wants to become, I don't know, a fitness instructor, or start her own classes, for example. What would be your advice to this mom, like in terms of actions that she can do in order to reach this?
Okay, so what, in terms of qualifications?
Yeah, I guess that's a good starting point.
Yeah, so I would first of all find a reputable provider. The training company that I went with, they were excellent. The tutors that I had were very, very experienced and knowledgeable. And obviously then you learn from them. But yeah, I think the first step would be to find a very good company and start off with the gym-based instructing, and then work your way through the qualifications. You don't have to be a personal trainer to teach classes. You can do the level 2 and then, begin whatever class it is that you want to teach, unless it's something more advanced like yoga or Pilates, which is a totally separate qualification anyway.
Okay, yes. Great, good to know. In case somebody is interested, I know I spoke to a few people, and for everyone, it seems to be like the COVID times was the breaking point. Yeah. Like for myself as well, for my own journey into nutrition, into health. Basically, it also started after COVID, basically. After lockdown and being locked in the house, I wanted to basically just I realized that I need to start doing something in order to bring my health basically to the next level, to move it forward. And I was recovering after pregnancy as well, after childbirth. And I thought now is the time. Because when you are locked, if you remember during first lockdown, we couldn't go outside and do anything. So I used to love walking every day. So that was my way of exercising and staying healthy, basically. But I couldn't do that anymore. And I realized if I'm locked in the house with all the food, with no activity, I will just go downside. So then I started exercising as well and looking closely into my own diet. So yeah, it's nice to hear that for everyone it's similar. You know, that was the point
yeah,
where
and the mental benefits. Yeah, the mental benefits of the exercise, just the endorphins, just makes you feel so good, and that's one of the reasons why I did the online classes, because it was a way to do them without having to be close to anyone. So yeah, and then just progression from there. You just keep moving forward, don't you, with whatever it is that you're doing. Keep moving to that next step so that you are progressing and you can continue to help people and you're learning yourself as well.
yes, that's amazing, isn't it? And so in terms of your business, what are your plans for the future? Like where you want to see your business in, let's say, 10 years from now?
Well, 10 years from now, I'm obviously going to be a lot older. So I'm hoping that I'm still going. I'm hoping that my health and my body is still allowing me to do what I'm doing now. But yeah, I mean, my dream is to have my own studio or my own gym or part space, part gym. I'm fortunate that I've got a very large garden at home. So I'm hoping, the plans have been put in, I'm hoping at some point in the near future that we are going to take down our existing garage and build a great big studio in the garden. So I can keep all my equipment in there and I can teach my classes in there. And it's really close to the high street, so mums can walk around with their buggies. And if the weather's not great, we can do it inside. And if the weather is great, we can do it outside. So it will all be based at my home. So that is my dream. But we'll see if that happens. Hopefully it will. And soon.
It sounds like very exciting goal to have. So
yeah,
fingers crossed for you. We need more businesses like this in our area, I feel, because yeah, so very nice. And
absolutely.
so I guess just the last question would be, what would be your number one advice for women who want to start exercising but hasn't done it yet? You know, like sometimes it happens that every day you promise yourself, I will do it today or tomorrow, but nothing happens. So what would be your tip to break this cycle of promises with nothing happening?
Okay, so for me, I would take a step back, look at what's going on for your week and think, okay, so these are my necessities, I have my absolute must-dos. And then you look at your options of your exercise, where it might be going for a swim at the local pool, it might be taking yourself out for a long walk or a run, it might be coming to one of my classes. But what you need to do is have things written down. I plan everything. Everything is written down. And you plan it in. You book yourself a slot. Because if you don't, the laundry might take over, or the shopping, or something with the baby. As mums, we put so much pressure on ourselves to take our babies to sensory and this club and that club and the other club. And then we forget about ourselves. And my classes are really short. They're only 45 minutes. So for 45 minutes, if it takes you 5 minutes to get there, 5 minutes to get home, it's still doable within 1 hour. And 1 hour in 1 week for yourself, I think you deserve it. So please book yourself a space in your diary and do it once, and do things in small steps. Don't feel overwhelmed that you've got to start exercising, you've got to do it 3-4 times a week. Do it once, and then the next week repeat it. And then when it becomes a habit and it's built into your day and your week, then you can extend it. And then you go, oh, okay, now well, I can come on a Monday, and now I'm going to book in on a Thursday as well. And slowly build it up. I think sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves to do too much too soon. So little steps and plan everything.
Very nice points here. Thank you for this great advice. I think whoever will be watching this will find it very helpful.
Thank you. And I think consistency is the key. That's the absolute key for anything. So whether it's drinking water or eating, you know, building good habits and consistency are absolutely key to making progress and starting to see your results.
Yes, and the right mindset as well.
Absolutely,
I would
definitely.
say, because, yes. Thank you for today. Just another question for people who see this and say, I want to try services that Stacey provides. What is the best place to find you?
Okay, so you can find me. I'm still in work in progress with my website. It's coming very, very soon. And that has a booking system as well. So everything can be done from there. But you can find me on Facebook under Babes, Bumps and Babies Fitness, and on Instagram as well. Or you can contact me on my telephone by sending me a text, which my phone number is 07584 57730, or email staceybastianpt@gmail.com.
Okay, I will leave some links down below for those who are interested in contacting Stacey, because I feel like this is such an amazing program for moms and for anyone who wants to get into healthier habits of exercising. So the noise is just my kids running around.
I'm surprised I haven't been interrupted.
Yes, mine always come. It's there's always something. So, but that's how we are moms trying to do the
Oh,
business.
absolutely. My children don't think I have a job. When I say I'm going to work, they say, "What do you do, Mummy?" And I say, I teach mummies exercises, and they say, "That's not a job."
Yeah, well, if you enjoy what you do, it's not a job, right? So
Well, they always used to see me.
compliment.
Yeah, they used to see me doing it, and they love getting involved as well. So, yeah, it's great.
Okay, thank you for today.
Thank
And as
you.
I said, I will leave some links down below for those who are interested. And yeah, and we'll maybe chat another time as well. I love it.
Absolutely. I look forward to seeing you in my classes as well.
Yeah, who knows?
Take care. Thank you very much. See you
Thanks.
soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.